would actually even cling even on a straw. So that's why you actually have seen very funny things happening. For example, if you look at William Ruto's government, it has got a problem. That number one, the executive is so weak. You can't see the PSS. They have submarined, you can't see them. CSS are non-existent. Even those who were brought in lately, and we thought that probably they would inject some new lease of life, like Mutai Kagwe, you don't see them. They've become so ordinary. Kabogo, you don't get anything. They literally, they didn't move even a needle. So what has been putting William Ruto's government at least working has been the National Assembly. That has been the center post.
Assembly,
That has been the center point of William Ruto's administration, because the executive is weak. There's a revolving door syndrome where you bring in cabinet secretaries, and 4 months later on, after you have defended why they should be in the cabinet, 4 months later on, you show them the door.
Right.
So the revolving door syndrome speaks to that. When you see PSS that do not exist, when you see CSS that literally are like Form 1s, they are there to be seen and not to be heard, it means the executive is totally collapsed. So what holds this administration, because the judiciary is a little bit belligerent, it's actually, and you know, the judiciary has no option, but it has to defend the constitution.
Right.
So the judiciary looks like it's belligerent, assailing the regime. The executive cannot stand on its own. Only the National Assembly actually has had a level, and that is why, by the way, even Gen Z attacked that, attacked Parliament, because by the way, that is the only thing. Now, the second center post that has come in now is Raila Odinga.
Yes.
And it has nothing to do with the delivery to Kenyans. It's about regime survival. Okay. Let's get that very clearly. And just looking at the 10 points, let me call it the 10 points agenda. Number one, they're talking about the implementation of the NADCO report. NADCO report was BBI in new clothes. BBI was largely about creating positions for the political class. So even point number one has nothing to do with Kenyans.
Is it BBI unconstitutional in your view?
Well, constitutionalism is how people get around it, whether they do it through the popular initiative or the people. But I'm just telling you that even agenda number one is not about the people, because it's BBI, but BBI in new clothes. Number two, they talk about inclusive in public life. They're only going to defenestrate Rigigi's people and creating positions for ODM's people. Nothing else. As in, when they talk, you are not going to see a Gen Z included in agenda number two. It has nothing to do about the people of Kenya. Number three, protecting and strengthening devolution. I can tell you 100% what this is going to be about. It will be about slowing and going slow on thieving governors from friendly constituencies or other counties. When they talk about strength, they will not be talking about adding money, but you will see governors who are stealing being protected. That is what agenda number three is about. Agenda number four, they talk about protecting and promoting the livelihoods of young people. I can tell you what they'll do. I have worked for young people most of my adult life. And I'll tell you this. They're just going to create a few youth forums. And in my language, they're going to create new bouncing castles to keep young people busy. There will be nothing fundamental about young people. Agenda number five, they talk about leadership and integrity. They know this is the Panadol that soothes the public to actually relax. So they want to sing that language, that lullaby very loudly to ensure that the public relaxes. And number six, they're talking about the right to peaceful assembly and protest. Why would they be giving us what the Constitution has already given us? As in, you cannot give us what is actually our right. So this is also another way of actually making us feel like we are supposed to relax. They talk about agenda number 7, national debt. This government is going to be bigger. I know they are going to bring back CASS. That one you can take it for sure. They are going to bring back CASS so that they are bringing more people. They are simply going to take more debt to finance a bigger government. Again, nothing about the people. Number 8, they talk about fighting corruption. That's agenda number 8. There is no fighting corruption they're going to fight. Government, public corruption happens in government. It is done by government. So government cannot say that it is fighting corruption as if corruption is coming from outside. Government should simply stop corruption. This is just a talking point that has to be on that thing. Number 9, they say stopping wastage of public resources and to promote government efficiency. They're going to talk about equality. So they will be taking some quote-unquote resources from other areas that are seen as hostile, and taking them to others, quote-unquote, in the name of equality. And in that, polarizing the country. Number 10, they speak about protecting sovereignty. I don't think they are serious about this.
All right.
Because they've not spoken about Besigye being, let's talk about sovereignty proper here.
Yes.
Besigye is abducted in Nairobi, the capital of Kenya. The Republic of Kenya the CS for Foreign Affairs has not even summoned the ambassador, or rather the High Commissioner, Uganda's High Commissioner in Nairobi. We saw our neighbor in the south trying to also abduct an activist here in Kilimani, and Kenyans actually had to come out. So there is nothing around here. So the summary of this thing is that this is not the MOU. This was for public consumption. There is an MOU that is behind this. Okay. This is a popular version to actually keep us, that is actually written in a way that actually makes us feel happy, but there is a real MOU that is actually sharing positions properly, complete to numbers and who gets what and who takes what. Okay. But this is a popular version and it has nothing to do with us.
And I'd love to know, Mr.